Shalom Akim, all praise and glory to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai Bashim, Kakadash, double honors to the apostles of great millstone, salutation to you, Akim, doing the work of true sincerity. And before we begin, let me read this. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for the purpose such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. So, we are going to listen to a couple of protests that Edomites have now, and this is right after the Charlie Kirk's death, the murder of Charlie Kirk, if you will, and some of the violent things that Esau has been up to only days. Well, actually, some of the stuff happened the same day, and other things happened only a couple of days after this murder happened. And basically, I want to get some scriptures on Esau's nature, because if you know, Cain is Esau in the reincarnation. And these devils never change. So it's going to be several minutes of video. So without further ado.
This is the twisted way that white supremacy works. A white man unalived another white man, and now white people are threatening black colleges in America. What? What did we do? We were minding our business, taking care of our kids, trying to work, cleaning our houses. Now it's our fault? Why?
Fight back! White man, 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 fight back!
Did you see the parade of...
So you seen the parade. This is what Esau is chanting now. So I want to play this news clip.
All right, we want to get right to breaking news. The GBI issued a blue alert as they search for a man accused of shooting a police officer in the face. The suspect is pictured right there on your screen, 26-year-old Timothy Ramsey. Channel Brian Mims is live in Fannin County in McKaysville. Brian, police and deputies from multiple counties responded to the shooting.
Multiple counties, from Cherokee County, Towns County, Pickens County, they all came here to McKaysville, a town of no more than 1,200 people. As you can see, it's a mountain town set hard against the Tennessee state line, and this was a staging area for law enforcement up until about an hour ago. I saw a couple of law enforcement vehicles speed by in the last 15 minutes. I need to check what that's about. The main priority all across far north Georgia right now is getting this suspect behind bars and praying to get this captain back home.
This is the officer, Captain Brantley Worley, husband, father, ordained minister. A few minutes after 11 Friday night, he responded to a call about a suspicious person here along 1st Street, a narrow street lined with small homes. Jake Bourne lives in one of those homes and first heard a single gunshot. Seconds later, 4 or 5 more.
And I grabbed my pistol and I ran outside just to see what was going on. I didn't, grasp it, and that's when I saw there was an officer laying in the road.
Captain Worley was shot in the face. The shooter ran into a backyard across the street and disappeared. Here is a picture of the suspect. His name is Timothy Craig Ramsey. He's 26 years old. Police surrounded the house where he lives on nearby Kingtown Street, thinking he was barricaded inside. When they finally stormed in, he was gone. They checked another house where he's known to hang out. Not there. That's when the manhunt began. Meanwhile, Captain Worley is in intensive care in Chattanooga.
He has multiple brain bleeds. He has a broken neck. He's got fluid on his lungs at this time.
It all weighs so heavily on Chief Michael Early.
He has small children and a family. So please remember him and his family.
And McKaysville is such a small town, something Jake Bourne could never conceive happening in front of his own home.
It was shocking. It scared me. My daughter's bedroom window is 50 feet from where this all took place. So a few feet in the wrong direction could have really hurt not only the police officer but my daughter.
And the chief is pleading for everyone to pray for Captain Worley and his family. He was the first to arrive on the scene last night, but neighbors told me other officers arrived seconds later. The chief describes it as an exchange of gunfire, and the suspect ran off. They continue to look for that suspect. They describe him as armed and dangerous. So if you come across him, if you see him, call 911. Live in Fannin County, Brian Mims, Channel 2 Action News.
Brian, to be shot in the face, we are all praying for that officer. Thank you.
All right. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. All praises to the Most High. Yet another officer has been shot by a white man. And this young white man or white boy is 26-year-old Timothy Ramsey out of McKaysville, Georgia. Now, McKaysville, Georgia is right on the Tennessee line. Population of 1,200 people. And out of those 1,200 people, guess how many black people stay in the area? You guessed it. None.
Now, here we go, another one. Now, this happened on the same day as Charlie Kirk's death.
And we begin with breaking news at noon. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office just finished a news conference. They shared a picture and the name of the student who shot 2 other students at Evergreen High School yesterday. Investigators say 16-year-old Desmond Hawley went through the school looking for targets, but lockdown procedures kept him from getting through.
He came up against a roadblock on many of those doors. He couldn't get to those kids.
Thank you for being with us at noon. I'm Mikaela White. We want to give you a quick breakdown. There's a lot of new information the Sheriff's Office just shared with us. Investigators say 16-year-old Desmond Hawley seemed to have been, quote, radicalized by an extremist network. They did not provide more details on that. We know that he brought quite a bit of ammo, continued to reload a revolver handgun, take shots inside the school. The Sheriff's Office says Hawley eventually took his own life. We're also learning more about the 2 victims. Children's Hospital tells us they are treating 1 student. The other victim is still at St. Anthony's in Lakewood, and they were also critically hurt. Law enforcement has not identified either of those victims. Your reporter Justin Adams is live at Evergreen High School, where that update from law enforcement just happened. Justin, we heard you asking questions, and there are still plenty of questions that the community has about all of that.
Now, with all of these happening within days of each other or hours of each other, why is this protest even going on? I mean, you seen the protest. What are they chanting, and why? That's the thing.
Why?
Fight back! White man, 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 fight back!
So they're chanting this, and it's like, against who? That's what a lot of Jakes is saying, is against who. So let me get these scriptures. This is Genesis 4, starting at 1. And Adam knew Eve his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Now this is back in the time before there was a so-called white man. You know, the spirit of the so-called white man was in Cain. You know, at this time everybody was brown to dark brown. And she said again, and she again bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of the sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought the fruit of the ground as an offering unto the Lord. And Abel, he also brought the firstling of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering. Now, back then they had an oral law. When you bring a sacrifice to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, you will offer the firstlings. So this didn't have to be told. And of course, they're of the same family, so they knew. But verse 5, but unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect, and Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth, and why is thy countenance fallen? And if thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and slew him. And the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. And now thou art cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shall thou be in the earth. And that's what Esau is right now. And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth, and it shall come to pass that every one that findeth me shall slay me. Now you can read the rest yourself. That's the basics of Esau. So let's go to Genesis and give clarity. This is Genesis 27:41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. And these words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah, and she sent and called Jacob her younger son, and said unto him, behold, thy brother Esau is touching thee, thus comfort himself, purposing to kill thee. That's how Esau has always been. That's how that's where the so-called white man gets his perpetual hatred, because they're descendants of Esau. Ezekiel 35:5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Esau does not hate blood. All the things that's going on right now is because Esau loves murder. So even when they're on, especially over these last few days, they've been killing themselves. But what do? They still blame it on Jake. All so-called white town and the so-called white man can't help but to kill. They kill themselves. Now we know that most violent crimes committed by a race is perpetuated by that same race. But when you watch Esau's news networks, they try to demonize Jake, and they don't hardly show or talk about themselves. And that's why a lot of people are like, hey, what about that white on white crime? That's basically what's going on right now. They saying, look, man, look at your own situation. Look at yourselves, man. You Edomites are the ones that's committing crimes against yourselves. Yet you chanting, you chanting Edomites fight back. Edomite man fight back. For what?
Why?
Fight back! White man, 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 fight back!
Against what? An Edomite kills another Edomite. Edomite crimes, these are all within days of each other, are being exposed, and you want to protest Edomite man fight back. This is all judgment coming down. And yes, there's going to be a war of race, civil, class, all types of wars is about to happen. You see where the devil's is, though. The devil's whole thing is to go against Jake. So, just in case y'all didn't know, yes, Esau is pissed at Jake because Esau is killing Esau. They need an outlet, and you Jakes are that outlet. And I think the point's been made. I'm going to end it there. All praise and glory to Yahweh, Baal Shem, Yahweh Shai, Baal Shem, Karkadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutation to you, I can do in the work and truth and sincerity. Till the next time, Shalom.